The Big Show on Kiss 92.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. We are The Big Show, Glenn Angel and the Flying Dutchman, and today our guest is from Career Agility International. We welcome Adrian Choo. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Glenn. Good morning to all our Kiss 92 listeners out there.
And today we're talking about platform dancers.
Platform workers.
Do you remember the day? Hey, can I get out on the platform and dance?
That was exactly what I thought when I saw platform workers. I was thinking, okay, Batok, Pole.
Is that what they're called? Gig workers?
I don't know. It's like
Why are they
gig
called
workers.
platform workers?
Because they work on different platforms.
Is that why they're called platform workers?
Isn't that the reason? That's what I've always thought.
yeah. No, I had this discussion with Yen yesterday, and she thought I was referring to those working on oil rigs, platform workers.
Platform workers.
It's a very odd term.
But platforms, as in technology platforms, you got Grab, you got Gojek, you got all those.
Oh, the apps.
Oh,
Apps.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
okay.
That's why
The
they're called,
different platforms.
yeah, that's why they're called platform workers. And apparently it's a big thing. So right now in discussion in Parliament, they're trying to figure out how does the government treat them off, how does government make sure the companies treat them off fairly. So right now on the table, they're talking about implementing CPF. They're implementing, which means that the platform has to contribute CPF for them as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And workmen's compensation, which is interesting.
Which is very
because-
interesting.
Which is useful, isn't it?
That should be already in there. I mean, insurance for if they get injured. You see them
Right.
on their bicycles, their bikes.
Right now, there's nothing.
They
Yeah. And I think we should go even further, with medical. And I was thinking about training budgets as well. You should give them training budgets because I have my point of view about platform workers being left out in the cold, and I don't think it's a great idea in the long run.
Is it because it's more expensive for a company to provide like CPF,
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
medical benefits,
For
and all that?
sure.
Yes, and the funny thing is, we as a people, we say they should be doing more, but if the company circles back to us and says, okay, yeah, are you willing to pay $2 more per delivery?
No.
Answer, no. Everyone goes no.
To the consumers.
To the
you mean,
consumer.
right?
The
Yeah.
consumer will say no. So that's why it's interesting. We have this discussion today. And one quick question. Do you know how many platform workers there are out there?
No.
As in gig workers, right?
I mean, on the major platforms. So they're
Like
just not
your
talking
Grabs, your
about...
Deliveroos, and
Yeah.
and all that. You're not talking about like part-time singers and
Yeah,
and,
or
and
even
hosts and stuff.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
even private tutors or whatever. Those
No.
are kind of gig things.
gig workers.
I was surprised there were 70,000. What?
Wow.
70,000 platform workers, according to the Straits Times. And of the 70,500 platform workers in Singapore, in 2023, 22,000 were cabbies, the taxi drivers, and you got 33,600 were private hire drivers. And then you have the 14,700, about 15,000 were delivery workers,
Okay.
which
Okay.
means the Lala Moves and all those.
Yeah.
And that represents 3% of the workforce and growing.
That's huge.
That's huge. That's huge. The thing that they didn't specify was what were the demographics, because I'd be worried if a lot of younger ones were there. And I'll
And
explain why later.
I'm telling you, there are many young ones
They are.
there. Okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Zerb featuring the Chainsmokers, Addicted on Kiss 92.
But you
Zerb.
see, you can understand why we have, particularly with, say, food delivery, right? I've had a couple of friends who've done food delivery. They're in their 20s. And if you do it right and you work hard, because how some companies work is the more you deliver, the better you perform, the earlier you get to choose the district you want to work in.
And the incentives are better, right?
Right. So the earlier you get to choose, that means you've got a better chance of getting a district that has a lot of deliveries. Wow. So you make more, right?
But how much do they make? I mean, if I don't tip, do they make anything?
Without kidding, right? Done well, $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Can I just find out, are your friends riding bicycles, bikes, or cars?
Electric bikes.
Oh, right.
Bikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to the information given by the Ministry of Manpower, the median salary was about 2.5k.
See?
Okay.
Median salary. Which
But
means
I'm still trying to understand how they get paid, right? Because right after they deliver, the app goes, "Would you like to tip your
Yeah.
Yeah.
your delivery guy?"
Yeah.
And I always tip, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like this is what they get. If I
Yeah.
don't tip them, then they get nothing.
No, they get
They get paid,
They
they get
get
paid.
part of what you paid for the food.
They get part of the delivery.
Oh,
yeah,
the delivery
it's
fee.
marked up, right?
I see, I
You've
see.
got the
Yeah.
delivery fee.
Yes.
that's in there. They get some of that.
They
I don't
get
think
some
they
of
get
that.
all of that,
They get
and
some
then
of
the
that.
tips. I'd
So if
rather
I tip
give
them some more, then they get obviously
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
rather
Oh,
give
that-
them cash. Just because
apparently-
I don't know
I-
how much of the
I
tip they
normally-
get as well. Does it all go to them?
I don't know. I just
apparently they get all of it.
The tips.
If it's
Oh, wow.
a tip.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
But I agree with you. I do give them cash.
Cash, yeah, because you know it's going straight into
And I
their
feel
pocket.
really bad, especially if it's a wet, rainy day or really hot
Yeah.
day. To the point where I actually don't order delivery because I feel bad about it.
So what I do is when I have my Red Mart delivered every week, I get 24 cans of like chrysanthemum tea or iced lemon tea and all that. I pop some in the fridge,
Yeah.
and then when they come and deliver, I give them that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see these really old guys,
Yeah.
sort of like, because mine has a walk up, right?
Yeah.
They're climbing up the stairs because they've been cycling from Ang Mo Kio or something, going through all the traffic and the heat. And I really feel for them because if chosen, I don't think anybody wants to do that job at that age. At
Yeah,
that
at the elder
age.
age,
At that
yeah.
age. I'm not saying by choice.
Yeah,
At that
yeah.
age.
You
Yeah.
know, one of the reasons why I don't order food delivery was because I once ordered a pizza on a guy on a bicycle. It
Oh,
came
no.
to me folded over. It looked like it came over like a
Calzone,
calzone.
There's some things I wouldn't order. But going back to the fact that you don't order when it's raining, you should. Because
Why?
on days where you have continuous rain, their income really dives if you don't
Yeah,
order.
but it's so dangerous though.
I feel bad about it.
I know, so do
Yeah.
I.
And the wait is very long as well. So
It
I-
is.
If I need to eat on a rainy day, it's
Yeah.
just instant noodles for me back
Cook.
home. But
Yeah.
just
You
cook
guys are
something.
so sensitive.
No, but I mean, can
I
you?
don't feel bad about anything.
We know that. We know that. That's why the show is balanced so well. You know. So you got some compassionate and some who don't really care at all. Okay, so I think these incentives are great. The CPF.
CPF piece is interesting, and the
Workman's Com.
And what I was really, as I was reading more about it, what was really fascinating to me is that the government seems to have thought through a lot of stuff. So the moment you put someone on CPF, it's almost like a chunk of his income goes away, right?
Yeah.
And the question is, are you in a net better position for the time being if you're a platform worker when you got a whole chunk taken out?
But does it mean it's coming from the employer, or does it have to come from the employee
Both.
as well?
Both.
So it
like,
takes a
it's
chunk
like
out.
every
But
other
they earn,
CPF.
but they earn so like, they don't earn.
Yeah, I
they,
know.
They earn sometimes a lot,
A lot, yeah.
but not regular.
yeah.
You know,
you've got to maintain your
so for
Yeah.
someone
productivity.
who's earning 2,500, the median amount, if you take off a chunk, it hurts. But what the government has done is that for now they are topping up. Apparently, so they for those earning less than $3,000, the government will make sure that you're made good on the amount that's taken out. So I have no idea about the details because it looks chunks.
So you
of-
mean everybody will, according to the government, earn $3,000?
No. If you're earning whatever you're earning, if as long as it's below 3,000, apparently, I need to check my stats.
Yeah.
Because it just came out. Whatever amount which you take out to put into CPF, the cash component for the employee, apparently the government makes right.
Oh, for the CPF,
puts it
right?
back
Okay.
in
Well,
cash
that's a
for
good
you. So
move.
something like that. So you're not too badly off, but in the meantime, there is savings as a buffer for you in your CPF for your retirement. So I think that's a nice move. But my bigger question is this: now, is platform workers is platform working good or bad for the individual? Is it good or bad for the economy? And my take on it is that if it's a career choice, if you're doing it as a short to mid term, it's okay. My worry, like what you said, FD, you have individuals who are in their 20s. And I think it's not bad. No, I get exercise. I get to move around.
Yeah.
And the money can be quite decent. You know,
Yeah.
if I work hard, I can get like up to $3,000 to $4,000.
Yeah. If they don't plan to get married or anything
Yeah,
like
but
that.
that's exactly. But that's the problem. See, it's not sustainable. And the worst thing is your skills. You know, how are you gonna if you do platform delivery for 3 years, and if you want to go back to the corporate, it's gonna be tough because the
hard.
skills are all out of sync with the market. So. That's one thing I was afraid of when I see a lot. But apparently you can't get a PHV, a private hire vehicle license, unless you're 30 and above. So that's good.
Oh, I did not know that piece of
Apparently.
Oh,
information.
they've got age limits.
Yeah, so you, which is good because there was one point in time where I saw a lot of young, fresh graduates.
Is it age limit or is it how long you've got a driver's license?
I think it's an age limit.
Age limit, okay.
Age limit.
Minimum age.
I think taxi driving as well. I don't know. Maybe our listeners out there can advise if you're a taxi driver. If you
Or,
can-
yeah, a lot
But
of
you know what?
private
I'm
hires.
so confident in our government. I guarantee you they have already thought
they
through
thought of everything,
Yeah,
right?
this thing already.
yeah.
Pretty much.
And they've probably worked it out like maybe 3, 4 years, 5 years in advance already.
Yeah.
You know, as in whether or not this is good for our economy, whether or not they should do something to control.
Yeah.
You know, the numbers. I'm sure they've got it all figured out.
I think in the short term, particularly food delivery guys are going to see a dip when the CPF thing comes into play because the money, the cost is going to be thrown back to the consumer.
Yes.
And then the consumer's going to step back for a while
For a while.
and they're going to see a dip in their
And
income.
you know, we Singaporeans, when something price goes up, we complain
And
after
then eventually we pay.
it's fine, we just do it. Okay, fine. Like the bus fares apparently went up.
Yeah, it's okay for inflation, but your wages need to match.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Inflation has gone up, I don't know, 17, 20% over the past X amount of years. Wages have not gone up that much.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, so it needs to, that's why people are up in arms because the cost of living is so high.
Yeah.
And everything is going up, but they can't afford to pay for everything.
Why
now.
is this the case, Adrian? Because I mean, you should have. I'm sure you've been thinking about this for the longest time. We always talk about how everything else is going up, but the
Wages
wages
are not.
remain
Yeah.
the same. Why do you think this is the case? Adrian is going to be answering that question on the radio. Stand by.
No pressure.
Put my cup up, oh yeah. We gon' roll up tonight. Take flight, blinding lights. Cuff it up, cuff it up, cuff it up. Bet you'll see stars. Bet you'll go far. Bet you'll levitate. Bet you'll meet God. Everybody get up. Yeah. We gon' roll up tonight. Spaceships fly. Pull it up, cuff it up.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the AYE towards Tuas at the Clementi Road entrance, look out for an accident. This accident has caused Clementi Road's entrance to close. Once again, that's on the AYE towards Tuas at the Clementi Road entrance, which is now closed. On the PIE towards the airport after Bukatima Road exit, a vehicle has broken down. If you have any updates on those situations, WhatsApp us 8855509020.
So big, FD, you opened your mouth. He was so
No,
shocked by the news.
I always worry about when you get these exits and entrances
That are
to
closed,
expressways that
yeah.
are closed because it really messes up people's timing.
And it means that something has happened, something
Something
bad has
really
happened.
bad
So we
has
hope
happened. Yeah.
everyone's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Adrian Choo from Korea Agility International with us this morning. And the question we were asking Adrian off air earlier on the Big Show TV, why is it wages remain the same and everything else keeps going up?
And the Americans have a term for this, and I don't know if I agree with them or not. They have a term, they call it greedflation.
Okay.
It's when companies are making lots of money. The prices have gone up, so they've made supernormal profits, but they're not giving back to the workers, and therefore the prices go up. Therefore, it's just corporate greed. Apparently, some Americans are talking about it.
But a lot of things go up, including like your goods coming in. Say you order from Lazada, you order from Shopee. Things come from overseas. Shipping prices have gone up. That also comes into play, right?
It does. I think, but then your cost of product may go up by 3%, but you see, it's the cost out there is okay. Just for example, every beginning of the year for the past couple of years, the GST went up by 1%, right?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
moving up to 10%, right?
Yeah.
So even though the GST goes up 1%, your char kway teow goes up
It's
by
10%.
10%, right?
Yeah. Everyone's like rounding up.
Yeah, rounding up, that's how I always say the government should just, IRS should just slap just one shot, 5% up and bite
And
the
then
bullet.
just
Rather
rip the
than-
Band-Aid off.
Yeah, rather than have 1%, which end up being like 50% in price increase each time it goes up. So even if the cost goes up a little bit, the final price goes up, and and profits go to the company, and the company keeps the profits. So that's one of the reasons people are speculating why cost of goods are going up, but salaries aren't, because the companies are creeping, so keeping all the profits for themselves. So greedflation. I have no idea whether it's true, but if you watch American politicians, they're just pinning the blame on that.
Based on that, Daryl has come onto our Facebook page and states this. Is that why these days people are jumping ship every 2 years for a salary increase of 10%, 15%? And they're just jumping because they're trying to keep up with this.
I agree, Daryl. In fact, there's a loyalty penalty, as I always say. The longer you stay in a company, if you're not careful, you're going to find your wages compressed, because your 2%, 3% increment is not going to catch up with what the market outside is going to give you. So there's a penalty for being too loyal sometimes. But I'm not saying don't be disloyal. I mean, don't be
loyal.
Don't jump ship for every 1 year, 2 years just for the salary, because you have to have that career strategy in play.
Yeah, agree.
Okay. Let's continue to talk to Adrian on The Big Show TV. It's 8:20.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by...
So would greedflation be the same thing as shrinkflation? Almost.
Possibly, yeah.
Because if you look at your can of Coca-Cola, it used to be $3.30.
Yeah.
Now if you look at it, it's $300. I promise you, the can looks the same.
Right.
The former 240 ml skinny cans are now 200 ml, but they still look the same. I ordered a burger the other day, my fries shrunk. Really, because the fries used to be like a big pile, and then they just...
No, and you
if you take away a few fries, the company takes away a few fries, they make more money because they can serve another batch of fries to somebody else.
But that's a...
It's happening. If you look around, it's happening. Your packets of chips and all that, they're much lighter, although the packet is the same.
It's more air in it,
shrinkflation.
yeah.
Well, you're really observant, because I've never...
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's, I was about to say that. I mean, you're so observant,
And nobody else is noticing it. I mean,
I think people do notice it.
I can't be the only one.
But it's it's all right.
Glenn, I'm complaining about it all the time. When I go to the food court to buy economy rice, even not at the food court, but even at the kopitiam, the coffee shops. Right now, when I order food, I need to ask them to add ingredients. Otherwise, my kids will not will not feel full. So the basic chicken rice is about $5.20. I got to ask to add some
because
meat.
the amount is a lot less.
It's shrunk.
Yeah.
So to your point, it's shrunk.
Yeah.
Maybe now because everyone doesn't want to eat too much. That's why.
That's not it. That's not it.
So that's why they serve smaller portions.
No, it's
that's
not.
That's why us Asians are in such good shape.
Compared to the Americans and their portion
I
control.
mean, the
right?
changes are
portions, yeah.
inconsequential to most people, but it saves money from the vendor's point of view.
Yeah, and they mark up $2 for the extra chicken meat.
Yeah,
So it comes
they
to about
do.
$7.50.
And then you're like
for a decent
$1 for
meal.
extra rice? Are you kidding?
Yeah, yeah.
When it's like half a scoop or something.
That's why I love
Who will
cooking at
ask for
home.
extra rice? Nobody
No,
should be asking
I'm
for
just
extra.
saying, it's an example.
No, but I see your point, where if I take a few fries off everybody, within
You can
5
serve
people,
2 or
I've got
3.
another
Yeah.
packet of fries.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. So notice it the next time. I mean, see if you notice it, and then look at the
Yeah.
cans as well. Like the cans, drinks, packet of potato chips, and all that are all different now. They're all a lot lighter.
It's sad but true. It's there was a day there was a time when a quarter pounder actually weighed a quarter
of a pound.
Right? So now it's like
Probably like 100 grams
I
now.
tell
so-
everyone, don't be so observant, don't be so calculative. At the end of the day,
And I
you're
don't-
not going to lose out too much when it comes to food.
And I don't want to slam popular fast food places, but if you look at the size of their patties as well, what used to have a whole slice of cheese is now like half a slice of cheese. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Everybody's cutting back where they can.
Too much cheese also is not
Oh,
good.
stop
good.
it. But they still see. It's
cheesy.
fine if you put half a slice of cheese in there. Charge me half a slice of cheese
cheese.
less. That's what I'm saying. That the prices are staying the same,
Yeah.
but the amount is getting less. If they want to rebrand it or anything, they say, oh, we're keeping you healthier, we're giving you half a slice of cheese, that's fine. But they're not doing that.
Yeah.
They're making you assume that you're getting the same thing for the same dollar.
So that's why it's tough for platform workers. If they are not being fairly remunerated, I think it's tough. But once again, it's the question is working on a platform a good career move?
Well, I'm sure we've got some platform workers watching us right now. Let us know. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can always type in the comment section. We can keep you anonymous if you want. You can drop us a WhatsApp note as well, 88550920, or a message on Facebook. We're everywhere these days. You can't get rid of us. So
Yeah, let us know how it's going for you.
Yeah.
Because I remember in the early days of Grab, the drivers were making like 8 to 10
lot
grand a month.
Oh,
When
yeah.
they were
Yeah.
rel-
Yeah.
Were they
when
really
it's-
making that
When
much?
Yes,
Uber started
Yeah,
first,
when there were lots of incentives.
Don't you remember a few years ago we actually had a caller who was a Grab driver and he was explaining how he made his $6,000 a month.
I mean,
will
$6,000
never forget that.
is one thing. 8 to 10,000 is
But
another.
you drive like mad.
Yeah,
you
work
drive.
hard.
You do
You
12.
work,
You're
man.
12 hours in a car with 15 minutes for lunch and 15 minutes for a
But
cup of coffee
also
in the
very
afternoon.
smart. They would know which areas to
Oh,
go
yeah,
to,
yeah,
what
yeah.
time
They've got
and stuff.
strategies.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
strategy.
But
Yeah.
still, how could they have made so much? I mean, I talked to some private hire drivers these days and taxi drivers, and quite a number of them are driving for like 8 hours, 9 hours, and they're not making that
It's
much.
not so good anymore.
It also depends on whether they own the car or they're renting the car.
They're renting the car.
So some of them own the car. So they use this
Yeah,
as
yeah.
paying off their loan or whatever it is, or they own it wholesale. Then they make everything they make is theirs, right?
Yes, but there's insurance and there's wear and tear.
Which you'll
it's-
get with a car anyway.
But not at the kind of distances they travel.
Yeah, but
True,
this guy
yeah.
I spoke to, right? Okay, so he drives for about, I think maybe 7 hours or 8 hours or whatever, and he says he hardly makes $300.
I hear that
A
often.
day
Yeah,
times, I don't know, times 30. It depends.
yeah, but that's
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it can't be good on your body as well. I think if you're sedentary for 8 hours,
Yeah.
the taxi drivers is tough. If you are, and a lot of taxi drivers I've spoken to, they tell me that one of the occupational hazards, kidney stones.
Oh, because
Because
Really?
they gotta hold their pee in. They
Oh,
gotta-
right, yeah.
And they don't want to pee,
why do they have to hold that pee and they can just stop
but sometimes
anywhere?
the volume of
Petrol
the,
kiosks.
the volume picks up. They got to pick one up and drop. Then in between, then they
non-stop.
got to hold it. So in order to not go to the toilet that often, they don't drink as much as they should.
Which
and in
they
the hot
need the
sun,
water,
which
yeah.
they need to, right?
Yeah.
So
It's a tough job.
It's a tough job, and it's tough. That's why the question is it sustainable in the long run? If you think that you can make good money out of it,
It's funny that we're talking about this today, actually, because battle of our brands is private hire versus taxis.
Oh, yeah.
What is your choice?
I actually prefer private hire.
Okay.
I think the cars are in better condition. Taxis sometimes tend to smell a bit manky.
Yeah,
I
I had a manky private hire the other day as well.
Oh no!
But sometimes it's not the taxi, it is the driver.
the driver.
That's true as well.
Because
Yeah.
somehow
I mean, if you're 8 hours in
the
the car,
clothes,
right?
the clothes,
Yeah.
their clothes, don't. Is it because it's not dried properly?
Yes,
be-
that,
Yeah.
that,
No,
that
and it's fair because
wet
I've-
dog smell.
no,
It's like a wet
even
dog
for me
smell.
after 8 hours out, I'm not smelling that great either.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
get back home, first thing I do is want to shower because I'm not smelling that great either. So
Yeah.
so it's
But
there,
this is a
if you-
different kind of smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's sweat with not dried properly with yeah.
With
it's
with the pandan leaves.
Oh,
and the,
God.
Okay, I
try-
can take the pandan leaves at the back. It's the other smells I can't
Yeah,
take.
but the pandan leaves have absorbed all those smells. They don't smell like pandan anymore.
oh boy. Oh boy.
but I would prefer a private hire. It's easier, it's faster, but it also depends. Of course, I'm a cheapskate. So if it's a high volume of taxis on the road, I'll just flag one down, and I'd rather give him the tip.
When was the last time you flagged a taxi down?
It's a good question, right?
Right?
uh,
I haven't flagged one down for
3 days ago.
decades.
3
Where
days
were
ago.
you though?
Right outside my house because
Okay.
I tried private hire. I couldn't because it was like 4 in the afternoon. I couldn't get a private hire. I couldn't get a
Taxi.
A taxi. So Michelle goes, let's just go downstairs. And lo and behold, we went downstairs and we flagged one within a minute.
Because I don't see many green lights around anymore.
But I
It's-
do tend to tip the drivers a little
Yeah.
bit.
For
Just
taxis?
really round it up. Yeah,
I do.
I mean, it's sometimes I feel it's only honestly it's only $2 for us.
do you pay by cash?
I do pay by cash.
You do pay by
Yeah.
cash, yeah.
So I just normally say keep the change. If the change is not like $10 change,
Yeah, of course,
I know.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, just a token. Also, it depends whether the person was a good
It's nice.
was a good conversationalist. Whether he kept me engaged. intellectually for the entire duration of the ride.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I'm just the opposite.
So high maintenance.
You got to earn your tip, bro.
You're just the opposite. What?
I'm just the opposite.
You want quiet?
I will tip him if he just leaves me alone.
Then you just tell
That's
them
the
if you
kind of
keep
person
quiet, I
you
give
are,
you
I
money.
think. Actually.
I just because it's my peace and quiet time.
Okay.
You know, when I'm in
Fair enough.
in the car.
Okay, stand by.
Chance to make me blush. Second time is one to let. Now I found another crush. The lush life's giving me a rush. Had one chance to make me blush. Second time is one to let.
Kiss 92 traffic.
It's the usual heavy traffic warnings because it is still peak hour, 8:29 right now on a Thursday morning. But if you're on the AYE heading towards Tuas at the Clementi Road entrance, if you're planning to take that route, please don't, because that entrance is closed due to an accident. If you have any updates, it's 885550
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is the CEO and founder of Career Agility International, Adrian Choo. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, and today we're talking about platform workers.
Yes, and we're finding out that FD is a bit antisocial.
No, I'm not antisocial.
Wow, that's what you
No,
got out
you're
of it.
right. I am antisocial.
Yes, you are.
You're right. You're right. When I'm in a private hire or a taxi, I just want to sit in the back and be
Shut up.
alone.
Yeah.
I just
Hey,
want to be left alone.
can't you request that? Like when you book your private hire,
don't
I
know.
think there is a
Yeah,
feature
yeah,
there.
you're right,
it's
Dan,
called,
you're
it's
right.
called the quiet ride.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something
never
like
knew
that.
Yep.
Oh, well,
So
there
then
you
the
go.
taxi driver will know you
I
want
don't
your
want-
quiet
yeah.
time.
They have the
Yeah.
quiet ride, then they have the more eco-friendly ride as well. Then they'll
Yes,
send you
yes,
like an
that I know.
EV or
Yeah.
a hybrid.
Right.
That will come and
Yeah.
pick you up with an extra 10 cents or something like that.
Oh, wow.
But the quiet ride, I don't think costs anything extra.
Okay.
That's quite
But
cool.
see, that's the amazing thing about private hire now. You know, there are all these things that you can request for.
Yes.
That you can choose, rather. You
They
know?
they also have those safety features as
Yes.
well for people getting home late at night to let people track your ride, like friends or family,
Yeah.
to
Okay, I've
track
heard
your
of that.
ride, knowing
Yeah.
knowing where you are and all
Yeah.
that. So that's
it's
really
very
really good.
important. That's very important.
Yeah.
I feel.
Okay, so
I like. I know that's why I would prefer a PHV
Private hire.
anytime over a taxi. Just that sometimes you have a certain window periods is just tough to get. You know, especially there was once I was out in Tuas at about 5 p.m. after a business training session I conducted, and it was impossible to get. When you're out in the boondocks at
and
5
not just
plus.
that, it's like $50 or something.
Oh,
like,
yes,
oh my
it
goodness, the
cost
way
me
that it surges,
$55.
it's crazy.
And the other day I was in a private hire because I mean I usually get a Grab premium when I'm going like for drinks and
Oh,
you
yeah.
know to and back.
Yeah.
And there was this driver who had his dashboard decorated with, you know what? Sexy figurines.
No.
Yeah, they're like cosplay figurines.
Okay,
right.
okay.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Nice,
Very
nice.
interesting. Kind of like my tattoo.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's
We're
true.
still
So
wondering
now
about
we
that.
know what this tattoo
It's
is
a
about.
sexy anime figurine.
Hello?
Sailor Moon.
Oh, sexy
Oh my goodness.
Sailor Moon, a guy or a girl?
girl. She's wearing a little sailor outfit.
Really?
Yeah, but
Mine
she's
has
not.
nothing on.
She's not as sexy as you think she is.
Nah.
Come raise my flag.
Oh, FD. We're on radio, FD. You know this, right?
What do you do on a boat? You raise a flag. Every boat has a flag that you have to raise.
Who's talking about
Antisocial
boats?
and crude.
Terrible.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Teddy Swims, Bad Dreams on Kiss 92. Oh, that is Sailor
That's Sailor Moon.
That's
yeah,
Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
I like the way Benjamin has come on our Facebook page after I said I want to be left alone in my cars. He goes, "Come, hire me, please."
Do you know what I do if I want a quiet ride? And you know, taxis you can't have a quiet ride, right? So when the taxi driver is particularly talkative or loquacious, yeah, what do? I say I sell insurance. Are you covered? After he shuts up for me.
Well done.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a lot of that.
That's a
He just
very
doesn't
good
talk to
one.
me after a while. Yeah, then I get my own quiet ride.
So earlier you were talking about platform workers like the delivery guys and all that being covered by CPF and possibly insurance and all that.
Yeah, workman's comp.
Do the private hires get covered by do they get CPF contributions
I
as well?
think under the new rule they will get.
Benjamin, you're a private hire
Yeah.
driver. Can you let us know what
Yeah.
kind of incentives or
CPF,
benefits you
yeah.
get?
Nothing,
Yeah.
Whether
I think.
medical insurance?
No, do they? Well, insurance they have to have because they're
Oh, yeah,
driving a
yeah,
car.
Yeah.
Right? But whether that car comes with insurance or they're
No.
buying separately is a different story.
What happened?
Right?
Nobody can hear
What's
you.
this? Oh, but we're off air? But behind the scenes.
But what would be interesting is things like medical benefits, CPF. CPF they don't get at this
You
point.
know what I think? I think to be fair, they should. If you work X number of days per year, I think you should be entitled to leave days.
If you work on minimum of X number of
Yeah,
then
work
no.
minimum X number of days. They should because it's
But you take as much leave and earn as much money as you want,
No,
right?
but if someone works like out of 20 days of work, and you're working like 18 or days, if you clock
So
in
you're
a certain
saying
amount,
paid
they should
leave?
paid leave. I think maybe
But
they
they
should
don't.
get-
They can't get paid leave because it's
But maybe
car.
they should.
Each private hire car is a business on its own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
So you're a business owner.
Yeah.
So you take leave when you want it.
But I want to pick up on what you said about they need insurance because they drive cars.
Yeah.
But what about the guys that have the electric scooters and
Scooters,
the bicycles?
I
They
don't know.
also
They
ride
don't.
vehicles.
Yeah, but it's not motor insurance, right? So,
But there
yeah,
still should be some sort of insurance. They're,
don't
they're
know if
working
there
for a
is.
company and delivering food.
they should.
You know, I feel that they should be
Minimally,
covered.
workman's compensation.
Minimally,
yeah,
yes.
minimally. If you
Minimally.
injure yourself, who's gonna pay for your
Yeah.
hospital?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
it's
And,
tough.
and you know how dangerous it is on all those
On the
bicycles
roads,
and-
and they're trying to go so fast because they're trying to get more orders in.
Yeah.
So they cut red lights, they cut
They
across
do.
roads and all
Yeah,
that.
I think I'm the cause of that.
What?
Because there's this feature called priority,
Yeah.
delivery.
Yeah.
So I pay $2 more,
Oh,
and
wow.
my order has to come on time.
If not, they owe you some money or something, right? They have to. I think they don't charge you for the delivery or something like
Yeah.
that.
It's quite interesting. But going back to your leave situation, right? And I'm talking about private hire drivers and taxis. I would rather than leave, I would like to limit the number of hours they can drive.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they do in Europe. You do 2 hours, you have to take a 15-minute break. You have to.
Like
Yes.
your system shuts down if you.
No, your car is tracked.
Oh right.
In,
okay.
in Germany, for example, public transport is tracked. If you're after 2 hours, if public transport is moving, you will get fined and
Yes.
have points deducted.
Yes.
You have to stop.
Like we don't have enough rules and
No, but this
No,
is
no,
for the
no,
safety of the
FD is
drivers and the
correct.
don't be a
Yes.
capo lah.
No,
They
FD is
will know
correct,
how to. But they
I-
will know how to manage. They should know how to manage
I remember
themselves.
last year I was in Finland, right, for the Santa Claus trip, and the driver, we were driving for about 6 hours, and after that he pulled over and said, "Okay, this is my 1 hour and a half union break."
Okay. And you were like,
And you're like, what? We're gonna sit here, and so we just sat down at the petrol station, just get some
Yeah.
coffee.
was
for
it a
about-
nice petrol
It
station?
was a decent
Okay,
one.
then-
Yeah, but
But you got to understand as well, right?
but I would rather him rest than drive tired. and
Dangerously.
then-
Exactly.
So
And
do
I
you pay for that 1.5 hours?
I don't
Is
know.
that clocked?
I don't know because it was a tour bus. So
Oh, right,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is, well, if I'm not mistaken, pilots also have that regulation.
I hope they don't rest while they're taking off.
That's
or-
why they invented
The pilots have
autopilot.
it, yeah. the
they take
autopilot
turns.
button, right.
They take turns.
Yeah, they
the,
take
the one
turns,
pilot
yes.
will go sleep. In fact, I've got a friend who's a pilot, and he tells me that we sleep most of the time. You just don't know it up front.
Same with the crew as well, right? I found their little cubby holes. They have
yeah, I've
those
seen
little
those cubby holes. Yeah.
They're so tiny, but that's where they rest above the toilets.
Especially if you're flying the long distance,
long
the
haul,
long haul
yeah.
ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
18 hours.
No, except our Singapore Airlines.
What do you
No
mean?
one sleeps. Everyone is
No
working all the
nonsense.
way.
That's where I saw the cubby holes. Stop
No.
it. Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Benjamin has come back and said, no, there's no personal insurance.
What is he?
Private hire.
Yeah. There's
So,
no corporate insurance.
No personal
No
insurance. So if he
personal
wants
for-
personal insurance, he's got to get it
gotta
on
get
Or
his
it
own.
even
Yeah.
Medisave or whatever,
Yeah,
he's gotta-
Medishield
he's gotta
thingies,
get it all on his own.
health insurance.
Yeah. I mean, these guys run
What's
the
his
country,
name again?
right?
Benjamin?
Benjamin, yeah.
Benjamin, do you think FD and Angel, actually not Angel, it
Thank
was
you.
FD who was like pushing for this and that. Or do you think FD is being a bit too nosy in this case?
Benjamin, please.
Benjamin, your private hire. Do you agree with me that you should take breaks every X number of hours?
And how many hours does he think?
And how many hours
Because,
do you think?
he is
Yeah.
if Benjamin wants to take his breaks, he will take his breaks, I'm sure.
Okay, the reason why I don't say this is last year I was in a private hire, and he literally clipped the side of a van.
Yeah,
Oh,
then
wow.
it's your bad luck.
No, he was falling asleep.
Yeah, it's your bad luck that
So
you got
if,
to
No,
drive
but
away.
you
if he
see-
had been speeding and the van had been speeding,
Oh, wow.
in all honesty, I could be dead.
But Glenn is right. As a driver, you should know when you've driven enough.
But human nature states that if I'm earning money, I'll push the limits.
Yeah, and how do you know that the guy is tired because
Of
he's been driving?
Yeah, this is true. It
No.
could be tired from anything else.
Sometimes
Whatever.
I'm driving home in the afternoon from here to my house, 5 minutes away, my eyes are closing. For
But
some reason.
But even here, the ROV advises you, if you're tired, pull over and rest.
Yeah, but what
But
I mean
you
here is that
don't, right?
it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. If everyone wants to get...
My first job in Shell, I had to service customers from Tuas.
Yeah.
I had to drive to customers in Tuas, and in the same ride, go over to Changi. And it's an island to island, end to end ride. Even in that young age, I would fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because it's a monotonous
It's a
drive.
monotonous drive.
Yes.
So I would actually pull over at East Coast, have some kopi.
The highway is the worst.
Yeah, but highway straight. That's why I think a lot of Singaporeans, when we travel overseas on those self-drive trips, a bit risky if you're not used to driving long distances.
Yeah.
So you can fall asleep.
It is.
Or
it is.
maybe you were just putting the guy to sleep because you wanted to just keep quiet, Abdi.
Hey, it's
If you had struck up a conversation with him, he wouldn't have
I'm
hit
sorry,
the curb.
it is not my job to keep the driver entertained, hello?
You're a radio
It's like
DJ.
little-
What's
I
wrong
do
with
that
you?
for
You're
4
like a little
hours, yeah.
clapping
That's
monkey.
Just
right.
keep talking.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Looks like it's all good on the roads except for that entrance to Clementi Road off the AYE heading towards Tuas. It still seems to be closed. If you have any updates on that, please WhatsApp us 885550
We're back on The Big Show and The Big Show TV with Adrian Choo from Korea Agility International.
So, going back to this whole taxi driver thing, Benjamin is a taxi driver. He says nothing, no benefits. Then David Boo comes on and says, I'm a private hire driver. Grab have personal accident
Oh, nice.
for us. And he says, I drive 13 hours straight, Monday to Friday. I choose jobs to the airport as we queue. And that's my break time.
Yeah, see?
Okay, yeah, that's
all
working.
right.
So, okay.
That works for me
That's
if you're
smart.
doing that.
Yeah,
that works
because
for
he
me.
can buy his own lunch. He can have it in the car, which lots of people do on long drives
oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying you have to. I mean, you
yeah.
can stop somewhere. But Benjamin is a taxi driver. Did he
Yeah,
say?
he's a taxi
He's
driver.
a taxi driver. And he
And
has
he's-
no insurance.
no benefits.
That's weird because taxi drivers are hired under the companies. Your Comfort Delgro, your
I think so,
SMRT,
right?
Yeah.
your Transcab. Those
Grab?
are all... Grab is private hire.
No, but some of the taxis can also be on the Grab platform.
Yeah, so they're doing
Actually,
double.
only
They're
one,
doing
not
double.
all the taxi companies.
It's only Comfort Delgro.
I
So
see.
here's my question. I'm a Comfort Delgro, right? Or I'm a... Yeah, if I'm Comfort Delgro, whatever I have, is it applicable when I'm hired as a private hire?
What do you mean, insurance?
Yeah.
It depends
Because
on
it's-
what the booking is under. But I think it's not just Comfort Delgro. I think I've been picked up by red cabs as well under the Grab or other cabs, like the Trans cab. So I
Yeah.
don't think it's just Comfort Delgro that also has it. I think it's anybody that wants to be on dual platforms can.
Yeah.
But this whole discussion has gone into taxis.
Yeah.
Just that.
And so from a career viewpoint, what I would advise is if you have if driving, if you enjoy talking to people, if it's part of your career strategy, then it's fine. If you're younger, you might want to look at it not as a permanent situation, unless you really want to do it. You're passionate about it, then it's great. But you have to understand that the sustainability factor is there. How you might make great money, but you got to put in a lot of effort. It's not scalable. Then after a while, will your health suffer? So I think we need, if you're a platform worker now, you probably need to think about the longer term. And I'm glad the government is stepping in with all these nice policies. But the whole idea is we need to think about is career longevity.
I like what you said. It's not scalable.
It's not scalable,
Neither
it's per
can you
hour.
go anywhere. There's
Yeah.
no promotion.
Yeah,
You can't become like head driver
Yeah.
or head platform worker.
That's why I often wonder whether these platforms will ever turn into something like MLM, where you have one guy and then you have his group underneath
Oh no,
him.
no. Then it
I wonder if platform
becomes like
workers will
gangs.
eventually evolve into that.
You think we are Indonesia? Or-
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay. I wanted to say something, but I forget now. Okay. Thank you very much, Adrian, for joining us today.
Always a pleasure. Have a great weekend ahead, everybody, and drive safe if you're driving.
If you want to get in touch with Adrian or Yen, you can get in touch with them at info@koreaagility.org. All right, coming up very soon, headline news and sports.
Wake up.